Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Today I have another scenario from the patrons, as is usual in the weekend. It is 1943, and with the Italian fleet making bolder moves on shipping in the Mediterranean, you have been tasked with designing a battlecruiser to escort the next convoy. Due to recent events, the British government has sent out salvage teams to recover turrets of the Graf Spee, the Admiral Scheer, and of the French battlecruiser Dunkerque and Strasbourg. With the recovery of the two double 18-inch from sunken Japanese monitors, your higher-ups have tasked you with incorporating all of these weapon systems in the design. This is going to be a really weird design. So wrote JT Hancock. That's the guy who created this scenario. This is going to result in some really weird battlecruisers today. Now, the objective is to ensure that a couple of my transports survive. As you might know, I am not a big fan of using transports in scenarios because I can't control them. It's the AI who decides where they move, how they move, and, well, what they crash into. That's usually what they end up doing. Now, before I get more questions, if you have a scenario of your own, be sure to send that in through the link down below in the description. And if you don't want to wait until that eventually gets picked out of the pile of 1087 scenarios or something I have sitting around, then please consider becoming a Patreon supporter. And of course, subscribe to the channel, because I've noticed that quite a few of you watching these videos are not yet subscribed, and subscribing really helps me out. Now, win conditions for this scenario: make sure one battlecruiser survives with at least 5 transports surviving. Alternatively, all three battleships are sunk, which is going to be a hell of a challenge for 2 battlecruisers. Or I survive for 2 in-game hours. Anything else I should know? I need to have at least 31 knot top speed, and I need to have at least one 14-inch quad turret, one 18-inch twin turret, and a set of 11-inch wing turrets. This is going to be such a Frankenstein. Okay, Battlecruiser 5. Incomparable. Well, that's not... that's not wrong. This ship is going to be so weird. Alright, let's ensure that I have some survivability first. Now, I'd say one 18-inch twin on the bow. And then an 14-inch quad somewhere on the stern. But 11-inch wing turrets is going to be hard to incorporate on a battlecruiser. I mean, the modern towers take up so much space. And sure enough, I could drop back to the rear tower 7. But the problem is base accuracy, which is just vastly better on the modern tower 3. Because this is 15 base accuracy, and this is only 6.5. So if I have some sort of really weird mixed set of guns, I'd say that I want as much accuracy as possible. Now what I could try and do is just shift it like this, and then I might be able to fit the 11-inch turrets in here. I suppose that those wing turrets would have to be triples. Oh, that firing arc is atrocious. Now, nothing was said of displacement. There we go. Nothing was said of displacement. Now they have a far better firing arc. I'm not a big fan of battlecruisers which have wing turrets, but in this situation, I'll just have to make a run for it. Now then, 18-inch twin turret on the bow. 18-inch twin. We have a 4 weight offset of a mere 43%, so nothing we need to worry about. And then to counter the balance, we have to have one 14-inch quad turret, which does really very little to offset my weight problem. What if I flip these? So what if I have this one over here and the 18-inch dual on the stern? Would that help? No, not that much. I can have this thing all the way on the stern and I'm still looking at a 4 weight offset of 13%. Now, here's the thing though. the way that the scenario is written and the demands are written up, it says have at least one 14-inch quad, one 18-inch twin, and a set of 11-inch wing turrets. It doesn't say that that is all that I can have. So there is an option here for me to exploit that little, maybe that little oversight, and add another set of 18-inch on the stern. The problem is then that I probably get a bit off balanced. Let's see if it'll fit. No, actually. I don't even go out of balance. My 4 weight offset is 14.5%. Still. Good lord, where do you want me to put this turret so that it doesn't mess with the weight distribution on the ship? Hold on. 11-inch wing turrets. Triples. Wing turrets. Side guns. Yeah, that would do. And then we can slide the main tower back. And we can get the main turret. There we go. I'm going to put this a bit further towards the superstructure. And then I can slide the 14 inchers back a little bit. Hey, look at that. 0.9% off weight, 4 weight offset. Now we're getting somewhere. Now, considering that these boys are going to have to go up against battleships, I'm going to give them as much survivability as possible. Because they have to survive for 2 hours, or they have to sink a battleship. That is going to be pretty tricky. Now, after seeing yesterday's design from the AI, which was fantastic at pumping around water, I'm going to ensure that I have turboelectric drive 2 in tandem with anti-flood 3. So if these things will, I'm almost going to say inevitably start flooding, they should at least be able to pump that water right back out. Heavy shells, let's go for high TNT propellant. I'm not too interested in how fast the turrets can rotate. I am far more interested in how fast I can reload. Stereoscopic rangefinder, a bit of acoustics, and I suppose that since the battle speed is mandated at 31 knots, I don't have to go much beyond that. Let's go for 33. And then tack on some armor. Oh, hold on, I do have some escorting ships, so having the RDF to increase communications range would also benefit the rest of the ships. Because by doing that, the radio range increases, and that generally gives them a bit of an accuracy buff. Right. Belt armor, 6.5. Belt extended, 3.5. Try not to get hit by a battleship. I'm not going to go for any secondary armaments on this battlecruiser, because I have a fairly substantial escorting fleet. And I hope that those guys are going to be capable of doing enough damage against smaller ships. The problem, as you can see with battlecruisers, is that they are extremely poor in the armor department. Extremely poor. This thing has 1.8 inches of deck extended, plus 118%. It's just not good. 3.5 deck, 2.5 deck extended, 3.5 belt extended, 6.5 belt. I try to armor my turrets as best I can to ensure that they don't fly off. Conning tower at 11, turret top 3, secondaries non-existent, so this 3.5 number doesn't really do much. Let's check engine efficiency. 23.7. Good lord, that's terrible. 69.7, that's better. So I would have to probably get another funnel for 500 tons. That's entirely impossible. I really want that 100% engine efficiency. I want that acceleration and I want that torque. Because these two things, combined with maneuverability, might just keep the ship in the fight. For, well, as long as I need it, really. Now maybe I can reduce barbette armor a little. Considering that I'm not using that many barbettes. I only have one. Let's go with standard barbette thickness. And then I have to get rid of another 400 tons somewhere. There we go. Anti-torp. Okay, deck. Let's see if we can get 3. Oh, sorry, no. We're going to do that on the main deck. 4 inch. 4.5. Nope. 2.5 is too much. More on the conning tower then. This thing has to stay accurate. 13 inch. Turrets. 12.5 on the turrets. Where can I save just a little bit of weight? 11.5 inch on the conning tower. There we go. 4 weight offset, 2.1. So we're going to draw that thing back a little. So, armament. 4 18-inch guns. 1 quadruple 14-inch gun. And 2 11-inch wing turrets. Which are actually right now not in the most ideal location. As they're leaning a little bit towards one of the turrets. There. Now they have a better firing arc. In order to fire all the guns, I would have to be broadside. In order to fire most of my guns, I would have to be sailing away from the targets. Right. HMS incomparable. Yeah, because nobody else would design something like this. Okay, let's hope that the AI hasn't designed some sort of super battleship. Oh, good lord. Where are my transports? There! See, this is why I never use one of those. The transports are supposed to be kept safe. The battle range was starting at 20,000 kilometers. Or, well, that's a bit much. 20,000 meters. So what you effectively have is a battle range that is 20,000 meters between my biggest ships and their biggest ships. But that says nothing about where the transports are. And that's why I hate using those things, because they are so unpredictable. On top of that, the enemy has 6 destroyers. And these destroyers are already out for blood. So even if they try and torpedo, for example, one of my ships over here, there is a pretty high likelihood that the torpedoes end up hitting the transports instead. So, if some of these transports die, well, I'm not going to be too unhappy about it. Anyway, what we got here is the battleship. 15 barrels of 13-inch gun. It seems like a modernized Dreadnought hull. Which is interesting, because it gave the Italians 1940 tech level. Substantial amount of guns on this ship. How many secondaries are those? 27 7-inch guns? Kidding? Jesus. 14 6-inch guns. See, this guy seems to be more scared of small ships than big ships. Against a battlecruiser, however, a broadside of 15 13-inch guns could be very painful. Well, this is going to be interesting. Okay, what do we have? Heavy cruisers, what they have. Torpedo launchers as well. And they have 8 barrels of 8-inch guns. They have 12 5-inch guns, and they have 36 2-inch guns. Try not to approach with a destroyer. Light cruisers. Fairly light armament. What is that? 6? 6-inch. 12 6-inch guns. 45 2-inch guns. And a couple of torpedo launchers on the stern. And then the DDs. Not that scared of their guns. I'm far more interested in what those torpedoes can do. Anyway, let's engage the threat. And we're going to start off with the enemy battleships. How is the rest of the formation built up? We've got Warrior, Devonshire, and Cumberland. A few bulkheads. Turning circle, not ideal to be evading torpedoes with. Turning circle plus sonar 1. Doesn't make me terribly happy. 9-inch guns. Set up in ABX. Okay. 2-inch gun secondary. Jesus, is that all you had? That's it? The enemy guns, or the enemy heavy cruisers, are just floating gun platforms. with 36 2-inch guns, and I get one? One set of... Right. Well, let's hope that the light cruisers can make up for that. 7-inch guns and a decent amount of 3-inch guns. Underwater torpedo tubes. Range is fantastic. 22-1. Okay, not terrible. That's not great. Few bulkheads. And then I have destroyers here somewhere. The Springbok, the Stork, the Unity, and where's the last one? Voyager. Why the fuck are you guys distributed among the entire division? Minimum bulkheads. Please. And then 13-kilometer range. Right. This is going to be tricky. Light cruisers. You guys are really close to the enemy already. You're in range. Smoke up. Orders are to continue on this course. Heavy cruisers, continue on this course. Destroyers, try to unmingle with the rest of the group, which is not going to be that easy, and see if you can do something to torpedo the enemy. As for the light cruisers and their torpedoes, well, it would be great if we could torpedo the battleships, but under their current angle, I'm not so sure if they can do that. Yeah, that's your torpedo target. This is your main target. So Shift, Alt, right click. Alright. Battlecruisers renowned and incomparable. Indeed. Incomparable. Salvaging a couple of turrets. Cleaning off all the muck. And then putting them back onto ships. What could possibly go wrong? Now, unfortunately, 11-inch guns are considered as a main armament, so it's not like I can put the 11-inch guns to target the heavy cruisers. Which is really what I would ideally do. I would really like to have those 11-inch guns to go off against heavy cruisers or even light cruisers. But unfortunately, it's not quite going to be happening, I'm afraid. Now, let's take a pretty picture of the incomparable. With her weird setup. The 14-inch just went off. The 18-inch are still turning to meet the position that they need. There we go. 9.5%? Whoa. Accuracy is great. Now, turn away slightly. I'm not interested in having a close conflict with those battleships. Because they... Look at that incoming shell fire. They will mess you up if they hit you. That was a lot of splashes. I'm not sure if I can get lucky more than once. The torpedoes from the light cruisers are moving out to meet the enemy battleships. If they don't hit the battleship here, they might still hit some of the others. Or an intersecting light cruiser or a heavy cruiser that just happens to get in the way. So hopefully we can quickly say goodbye to one of their ships. Another big incoming salvo on Renown. Most of it falls short. What we got here? Oh, substantial damage here on this destroyer. Flash fire, no less. That was really quick. I think that was a 7-inch gun. Yeah, both a 7 and a 9-inch shell hit the destroyer. Something exploded, causing a flash fire. And hence, no more destroyer. Which is really good, because the other ones still have torpedoes, and the fewer torpedoes I have to dodge, the better. Oh, Superb seems to have taken a bit too much fire and is falling back. Alright, keep putting pressure on the closest destroyer here. In case you aren't already. Don't torp it. That'd be a waste. Good, you guys hit him. What's your firing rate? 12.5 second reload. Good. I like it. Let's get rid of that DD. I'm really waiting for the moment that my battle cruisers take a big hit. There is just so much incoming here. I mean, these battleships, and there's 3 of them, they have a 45 gun broadside if they all start firing at one of my battlecruisers. And that's not really something that these battlecruisers can take. Not even in the best of conditions. Now, one of these ships has detected torpedoes as they're inbound for the enemy battleship. Yeah, here they are. It looks like some of the battleships are turning away. Chunk out of the main tower. Hold on, Edinburgh detected torpedoes as well. Yep, over there. The Edinburgh might have to turn. Otherwise, I don't think that she'll be able to avoid. This is maybe going to mess with my formation, but I'd rather mess with my formation than have another dead ship. Where are they? Here. Cossack could also be in trouble. Is that a torpedo? Oh, whoa, are you nuts? Warrior just sent out a torpedo against I don't know what. But right into the path of the Edinburgh. Jesus, that you got some nerve. This is a Yoshino player from World of Warships. Let me tell you that much. That's a Yoshino player. That's the guy who sits in the back and snipes. And then starts complaining when you run into his torpedoes, which he launched from the back of the line. Speaking of the back of the line, it looks like Cossack is going to have to slow down pretty aggressively. There goes one of the transports. Yep. See, I can't save these things. If I push in aggressively with my own fleet, there is a really high chance that I'll just run into massive amounts of trouble. Cossack, if you don't mind. Because my ships are, with all their few bulkheads, not designed to fight this much stuff. Clearly. Slow down, Cossack. Hold on. Cossack, if I tell you to slow down, I'm reversing the engines. Why does that mean that my rudder is no longer responsive? That's not what I was expecting. Look at that. That blew a huge hole in the Cossack. I'm going to have to take some more evasive measures here. Devonshire. Devonshire. No, warrior. No, 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 no. Maximum turn. Warrior. Don't do anything stupid now. Okay, you should be fine. In a way, I'm actually happy that it happens to be the heavy cruisers which are taking these torpedoes. Because it means that the destroyers are not currently working away. Oh, this is going to get really close. This is going to get too close. They're not currently working away on sinking transports. Where the fuck is that torpedo even? Oh, here. We already passed it. Still, Warrior could yet get hit by another one. Yeah. Despite my best efforts, she will get hit. Damn it. Oh. What are these guys launching? 21 inch only. Feels like something far, far larger to me. Now, I was quite optimistic about my escorting ships. But not like this. And more importantly, you know what, we're going to have to turn the other way. More importantly, the battlecruisers are now also getting threatened by torpedoes. My own destroyer group has managed to extricate itself and is currently throwing torpedoes back at the enemy. Unfortunately, it seems like we haven't really been able to torp them, I guess. I mean, torpedoes are away on some of the destroyers. Springbok launched her torps, Unity did. Stork hasn't, and Voyager hasn't either. But the range on these was fairly limited. Here, this is the torp range, 12.9. So, turn that off. How's the battle line here? Oh, renown. Don't. See, in this case, I would normally hit this. But now that I know that for some reason it disables the rudders, I know better. I know not to do that again. See, if this was the reverse engines maneuver only, it just means you put your engines in reverse, right? If it says close the barn doors, I would understand why the rudder would not be responsive, because the rudder is used to slow down. From what I know about it, closing the barn doors, as it was called, was a maneuver that at least I think the Iowa did, and maybe some of the other battleships could do, where you put your rudder at a 90-degree angle to the ship, thereby creating so much drag that the ship starts slowing down really, really quickly. This seems to just say reverse. It does not say that your rudder immediately gets knocked out. So why that happens, I don't know. Now, superb. It's nice of you to continue to do donuts, but at this point you no longer need to. Oh god, this DD is going to be a massive threat to the transports. Superb, you're now green to start accelerating again. How's the rest of the battle line? Cumberland's alright. What the hell? I think I might have broken the AI on these ships. The ship is not set to reverse anymore. Oh, sorry, it was set to reverse. My bad. Are you also still set to reverse? You're not, right? What's your bow, even? Oh, here's your bow. Yeah. Apparently, I was a bit overzealous with the reverse order, and the Superb was doing donuts in reverse. Oh, man. Reminds me of a story a guy told me when I was interning at the Naval College. He said that he was a bridge officer, by the way. At some point, the captain oversees what you're doing, the CO of the ship. And at some point, supposedly, this guy had enough faith in his new, well, bridge officer, I suppose, and said, you know what, okay, I'm going to do something else, you got this. And then to show everybody what he could do, he slowed the ship down really, really slowly, so that it's not something drastic that the crew would notice. And he started maneuvering the entire frigate, because that's what we have, but I believe that effectively they're destroyers. The entire ship was moving in reverse. Well, let's say that the captain was not happy when he saw that. But I thought it was hilarious. Just... You have enough faith in him? Yeah, okay. Well, then this is my ship now. Still, I think that he didn't get punished too heavily. But I did think that that was a good story. Now, Francesco Nullo ideally would get hit by a torpedo. But with the AI's fantastic dodging abilities, I'm not expecting it. She did. Oh, no. She torpedoed the Superb. Please tell me you torpedoed another light cruiser. Because if she torpedoed the Superb, then what's going to happen is that those torps are not going to hit the Superb, but they will hit 3 transports. Yeah, now she sinks. It's a bit late, buddy. Oh, now she doesn't even sink? There she goes. It's a bit late. Whoa, I almost... No, I didn't almost take a torp. I actually took a torp. Fortunately, nothing too terrible. How long do those torps run? 21 kilometers. Okay. Yeah, that would do it. DDs, we're going to have to do some damage against the German fleet because they're getting a bit too successful. One of the battleships, the Drago Volante, has taken some damage. Even some flooding. And the other guys... Scudo della Fede and Vittorio Veneto. These guys have taken no damage whatsoever. But at least they're heading away from the rest of the transports. So, let's see if I can head the battlecruisers back in their direction. Because I still need to survive for a lot longer. Let's see if I can still salvage my battle line. I need you to join up with that ship. So you're Div 2 and you're Div 9. And then I need this group to start following the battlecruisers. That way I don't have to have as much micromanagement. Now, Superb. Still trying to get rid of the Bersagliere. And hopefully the torpedoes will not impact the transports. But I am quite concerned about the safety of that ship. Or, well, the ships rather. The Argyle, the... Oh. Yep, bye-bye decoy. Minimum bulkheads, you're so toast. Let this, again, be a request from my side. If you have a scenario, don't put in transports. In this case, I've decided to make an exception because I was wondering if the AI knows how to use them a little better. To be fair, it does seem like they do know how to use them a little better, as they haven't crashed into each other as much. But whenever I see a scenario come in that has transports in them, I immediately delete it. Because it's just too frustrating to use those things. You can't control them. They're just cattle. They're just stupid units of cattle. It's not like you can control where these guys are going, how they're going to be acting, what they're going to be playing at. No, they're just stupid. Maybe Superb needs to head into the other direction. And hopefully these torpedoes, let's see if they run long. Oh, hello Edinburgh. Totally, whoops. Sorry, I totally didn't forget about you. Follow battle cruisers. Or actually no, you should be following the heavy cruisers instead. So follow Div 2. Whoa, what's with the lag all of a sudden? What the hell is that about? Oh, there we go. The game just slowed down to a crawl right there. Out of the blue, too. No idea why. Now, I'm seeing some weird behavior on the part of the enemy battleships. And we've seen this yesterday as well. They don't push. I mean, I get it. They don't have to. But I would expect them to make a move. What could be happening here is that this is the new, let's say the new ship behavior from the AI. And the AI goes, you know what? I have range. And my battleships can hit out to 26, almost 27 kilometers. I don't need to get close. I know that they were going to change the behavior on ships to make sure that they use their weapon range a bit more. So, for example, shorter range DDs would push in a bit more. These guys don't have to, but for some reason are. And I think that we're seeing the reverse of that as well. As the battleships just start butchering my transports. There goes Electra, Liberty's already sinking. After the attack on the capital, I'm not surprised that Liberty is sinking. What do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, I could have... What was the last level? 5 transports surviving. So the moment I lose more than 5 transports, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I lose the scenario. Well, the W over here is either suicidal or stupid, as she continues to head into the direction of the enemy fleet. Despite being severely damaged. She has rudder controls, she has engines. But she's just not using them. Or at least not properly. Now, DDs. I'm trying to get you guys to a better firing position, but it's not really expediting things, is it? 22 knots only, though, on the Italian Dreadnoughts. Modernized Dreadnoughts. 19 clicks, 12, 9. Okay, let's push in. Bulkheads, many, anti-torp, 4. Anti-flood 2, aux 3. Oh, this is going to be hard to sink. With flooding, I mean. How are we doing against that light... No, against that DD that's pushing into me? I think it's dead. But I'm not sure. Now, I'm playing a very dangerous game with my battlecruisers here, because they're not really meant to take that much fire. But I have to try and damage their battleships. Target the Vittorio Veneto as she's closest. And once again turn broadside. Have the DDs charge in. Best speed. Range is now 15. Maybe there's hope yet for these torpedoes. Maybe there's hope yet. And 18-inch guns against the Vittorio Veneto could inflict some serious damage. Hold on. Yeah, there's now shell fire coming towards the destroyers. This is a very risky stretch of your torpedo attack. I'm really hoping I can do some damage with these torps, because they are 22-inch. They're definitely going to leave an impact. But the real question is, how much can they shrug off? How much damage can get negated by that armor belt, or the torpedo belt that they have? Now, we are in range. But... No but. The AI is not heading away. So I should be able to drop a couple of torps on him. Only one launcher. Which is restricted. Heavily restricted. Oh, fire on Springbok. Come on. Range 11.8. Come on. I wonder how much lead I need to give to these guys. There we go. Torps away from Springbok. Easy to turn like this and then also get the Unity involved. So that the Unity can use her torps on the Drago Volante as well. My battlecruisers have taken a few hits now. Renown is doing okay. Incomparable, very healthy. And it seems like I still have 5 transports. Believe it or not. Have you smartened up? You have. Okay, at least they're heading away from the enemy ship at this point. That's a relief. Torpedoes away. Still barely getting any good hits. Despite the fact that we have a pretty decent accuracy. Just let the battle unfold for a while. Edinburgh. You have 33 knot speed. Just join the heavy cruisers, would you? Means that I have less to micro. Oh, Unity's decided to turn. It's not ideal. Fine. Stork, detach. Your target is that lead battleship. Aggressive launch, just drop it and get the hell out. Springbok, get out. Why can't these DDs just do as they're told? Come on, work with me here. We have ships to torpedo and we need to do it quickly. The Springbok is probably preventing the launch from the Stork. Are you still Yeah, you're still sailing in a straight line. Excellent. Another hit on the battlecruiser. Yeah, she's down to 72. Now this is another one of those scenarios that says survive for 2 hours and you're in the clear. Which I think is an interesting win condition, but it's not really one that I want to continuously use. Because sure enough, I could have all of my ships disengage and then, well, eventually win the battle. But I think that's a bit boring. I would rather inflict some more substantial damage against these ships. Let's target the second BB. Okay, Unity is launched. Voyager. Let's try not to crash into the other guy. Oh, Voyager already launched. Oh, okay. All DDs, every man for himself, turn the hell away. Smoke is no longer an option. These guys have done 21 damage? What? This battlecruiser is really not that good. Incomparable? 69? Normally I would say nice, but in this case, not so much. My hope for now is on the torpedoes. They are pretty sneaky. Minus 70% visibility. And that means that this battleship, Drago Volante, is still... There she goes. Now she's aware of the torpedo threat. But now it's too late. So she's ideally going to eat at least one. Which will slow her down and make her an easier target for the battleships. Or for the... Well, to some extent for the battleships. No, for the battlecruisers. And there are more torps in the way. Here, here, and here. Drago Volante, flooding. Ah, finally! A decent hit on the Vittorio. And she's down to 78% structural integrity and flooding. But as we've seen, they don't care that much about flooding. Another fire. There's another 18-inch shell. Hits the battleship, penetrating the stern deck. Cumberland detected torps. All the way over here? Okay. Well, that's a little unexpected. No, not that one. Where'd that come from? Oh, you might know something about that. I still have a light cruiser in the area here. This one. Superb. At least they ceased fire against the transports. For now. Oh, no. Oh, come on. Yep. She got the hood treatment. Torpedo hits the battlecruiser, blowing up her ammunition supplies. And she was full health as well. Look at that. Damage done, 262. Damage taken, 7,100. GG. Good lord. Not even a flash fire or anything. And not massive salvos of torps? No, one. One torp. Oh, dude. Oh, that's painful. Oh, speaking of painful. Regina could meet her end here. Which I wouldn't be too unhappy about. especially at the hands of torpedoes, because she herself carries a lot of launchers. Unfortunately, not really the intended target, as I was hoping to get at least one of the battleships into a bit of a worse position. Regina sinks. There she goes. Zefiro was able to avoid the torpedoes just in time. And the Dragovolante is going to get hit by another one. But that won't be enough. Springbok is seriously damaged. Voyager, Unity, and Stork are okay. Alright. Unity, you're going to be following the Stork. And the Voyager is going to be following the rest. And Springbok... Well, I'm sorry, buddy, but I don't really want a ship this heavily damaged in my division. So, Div 6. Don't torp yet. Dragovolante is still flooding. Jeez, these guys are really, really quite heavy. I hit a heavy cruiser? Oh, that one. The dead one. Well, at least we sunk one of their heavy cruisers. Where's my light? Here. Superb. We still have to get rid of this this battle cruiser, this destroyer here. Cesare Rosarol. Because she could be torping heavy cruisers. Like Devonshire. What the hell? What is Devonshire doing? I think something is wrong with our bloody ships today. Here. Now she wants to move again. All of a sudden. Uh-oh. Cumberland's taking some fire. And I have... Oh, Jesus Christ. I have few bulkheads on everything. So my chances of shrugging off that damage and getting rid of that flooding is not great. Stork, Unity, Voyager. I need you guys to attack again. We're never going to sink these battleships, but if I can just shepherd them away, keep them at bay, I still can win this scenario. Because it says, have 1 battlecruiser and 5 transports surviving. I really hope that these are not all mutual conditions that I all have to meet. Because he wrote 3 lines. He says 1 battlecruiser survives with at least 5 transports surviving. All 3 enemy battleships are sunk. You survive 2 hours of in-game time. So... Oh, Jesus. Torpedoes coming in from the Aquilon. You could make the point that in this case, I need to do all 3 of them. Well, that's never going to happen. I don't know of a way to sink the battleships. Other than landing a torpedo in their ammo storage, blowing it up. And hopefully getting rid of it that way. You have detected torpedo? From who? Where? What? How are you detecting torpedoes? Superb isn't allowed to launch torpedoes. Devonshire... Oh, Devonshire is. Weird shit is happening here. Increase to full. Weird shit's happening here. Now, let this be a lesson to you. If you have a scenario that you want me to do, send it in. But make sure that I fully understand what the conditions for victory are. Because if there's discussion about that, then I'm going to unleash my own interpretation. Which, in this case, is going to mean... I think that if I can just survive for 2 hours of in-game time, I win. I see this as an if, or condition. Or have 1 battlecruiser survive with 5 transports. Or survive for 2 hours in game, or sink all 3 enemy battleships. The problem with that assumption is that the first line doesn't make any sense. Fuck's sake. The problem is that this means that the battlecruiser survives with at least 5 transports surviving only makes sense if you also keep in mind that there's a time constraint. There goes the Unity. Anyway, I don't think this scenario is winnable anymore. It's not like these guys are going to run out of shells either. They still have 522 left. I have 156 on the Renown. My 18-inch are very capable of doing damage. My 14-inch, I don't know. Maybe? Maybe a bit, I guess. There goes Voyager. Stork, time to turn back. And then again, the transports. Oh no, the transports. But seriously, the loss of that battlecruiser at the hands of one single torpedo, that was pretty terrible. Okay, yeah, the torps were all heading for the destroyer. So all it needs to do, and all that it is doing, is zigzagging a bit, and she's in the clear. What I'm actually quite surprised about in this scenario is how well the transports managed to survive. Sure, they did some stupid shit, but they survived. Which is fairly unexpected. As for strictly damage done, this battle definitely goes to the Italians. Because the Italians have managed to do 23,000 damage versus my 4,400. So I'm just really not doing that much damage anymore. And especially with this battlecruiser, I thought it was accurate, but not really. It's not doing the damage that I was hoping it would. Oh shit, that's a bigger salvo than I'd hoped. Turn. Close enough. Still have the light cruiser over here. Hoping to hunt. Oh shit. That's what happens when you don't manage your ships properly. You know what? I'm going to cut it here. I'm going to say that this battle went to the Italians, and I'm going to once again kindly request that you not send in scenarios with transports. Because I thought, you know what? It might be different this time. Maybe it's better this time. It's not better this time. Again, I find that I'm getting really frustrated and that it's just not fun. And I really hope that that doesn't impact the video too much. But no. No transports. Absolutely not. Anyway, GG to the Italians. They got a lot of damage done. They blew up a torpedo. No, they blew up a battlecruiser with 1 torp. And the battle goes to them. I think that my convoy has been significantly interrupted. And will probably not cause them too much trouble. Anyway, that'll be it for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you soon for another video.